You are such a big star to me. Everything I wanna be. Cause I'm just stuck in a hole. And I'm a champions again. Anyway, in this video we're going to talk about we're going to have a reaction to the Rangers fans meltdown on, yes, you all know what channel it was on. It was in Scotland. For those that don't live in Scotland and don't listen to the radio, there is a radio station in Glasgow called Clyde, and they have a phone in called Super Scoreboard, and a lot of people call it Rangers radio and such like, because it's predominantly phone-ins by Rangers fans. So let's listen to the meltdown and let's react. Try not laugh too hard. Let's react to Paul, who was the first caller, and your point caller is.
Gordon, how are you? Kenny and Flannel. I was at the game on Saturday, Gordon. I tried to phone in after it. Before that corner was taken, I says to my pal, something's going to happen in this corner. The amount of Celtic players that was pulling the Rangers defenders. Dick Wall stopped the game and separated them. Greg Taylor pushes Raskin and then tries to pull him back, causing him to touch Joe Hart. And then the two Rangers players in front of Hart are getting bear hugged and cuddled. But to disallow the goal. How is Varno looking right back instead of just looking about the water? Nick Walsh is an absolute shocker. Even the push on Sterling in the first half, blatant push, no looked at it. But as soon as he's a Rangers player, he ever cares out the box and away far. You can't beat 12 men, Gordon.
You can't beat 12 men. People. If he wants to talk about VAR, why wasn't the situation looked at for the handball, which was a clear handball? Celtic should have had a penalty. He cups the ball, but never mind. Paul is raging.
Ridiculous. It's happened every game this year.
Every game. The fucking old firm. He's got a time machine. He's been going back in time. It's a Glasgow derby, mate. It's a Glasgow derby.
VAR or something else has caused us to be defeated. What team would do?
Always cheated. Never defeated.
Well, straight into the deep end. What do you think?
And Kenny Miller steps up to the mic and he's holding back the tears. Is that not a song as well? I'm not going to sing today, and I think there's going to be enough tears and of joy, of laughter.
You know, ultimately, I think it was the right call. I do. I think Raskin.
You've just broken Paul's heart.
I have. You know, and the reason is that you just can't do that with VAR now.
You can't push people in the back.
The goalie's up there, and you can see Nico Raskin's making his moves to try and get to a position that he can maybe affect Joe Hart, whether it's just be putting his body in. But there's one thing for sure, you can't put two hands on the back of the goalkeeper when he's going up. I mean, goalkeepers are a protected species, you know, so when any...
Oh, Kenny Miller's feeling the pain this morning. Remember that time that Kenny Miller was launched about 10 feet into the air?
Anybody goes anywhere near them, you need to make sure it's going to be, there's not going to be arms up in front of their face, there's not going to be kind of body contact. You can only go up and, in fact, you actually can't even go challenge goalkeepers when any contact happening. So when you put two hands in Joe Hart's back, and you can...
It's a foul. At the end of the day, it's a foul.
See, it does propel him forward. I don't think it propelled him as far forward as what he ended up past the front post, right enough, but it was just never going to be given because it completely affected that ball going in the back of the net. There's no doubt about it.
Did he just say that Joe Hart over-exuberated himself with the fact that he maybe 2 or 3 steps further forward than he needed to? This is the man who supports a team whose players regularly go down quicker than a whore's knickers.
Take Paul's point, Roger, because there is a lot of arms up, and that's always going to be the case at corners. People are always going to sort of jostle and whatever. And it must be difficult for referees to sort of boil that all down to, yeah, okay, but what's a foul and what's not? Because you're allowed to put your arm up and you're allowed to touch people, and you'll get away with a short hold or whatever. But yeah, I don't know what your take on it was.
What's the phrase we've used a few times this season, Gordon? Not every contact is a foul. But I think Nico Raskin was probably naive if he thought he was going to get away with that degree of contact on Joe Hart.
So you don't think
it was a push in the back?
He was fouled by Greg Taylor. That's what Paul's trying to say.
Listen, that is the... when does a foul become a foul? You know, there was jostling in the next time the ball was in the box between Carter Vickers and Seamer, but probably not a foul, the way things are gauged. So, and I'm wondering, as you'd love a referee to come in and just explain to us all.
You're a. We're going to talk about that in a second because Bobby Madden, the ex-referee, and several other referees have taken to social media to explain to the Rangers fans, and I'm going to go talking about that in a second. So make sure and stay tuned to this video.
You know, when does a foul become a foul? But
When it's a foul,
To be
If
fair,
you
I
look
don't
at
think
that,
that
I
would take much explanation. You wouldn't need to agree with it. Paul can disagree with it all he likes, but
No, Dessers in the first half, again taking a touch. I don't know why we're not bringing Kenny Miller rather than McCoyston to work with Dessers because see that taking a touch.
wait a minute. McCoy's used to go down easy, quite easily, and Kenny Miller was known for it in his time also, I'll let you know.
You know, just
Even at his time at Celtic.
like the ball. And I mean, the Rangers were a better team the whole game, and we still.
Whoa. How, go and tell me how Rangers were the better team the whole game when Celtic had the majority of possession. Now, that's statistics. That's stats that you can go and look up anywhere. Statistically, Celtic had more possession throughout the game. First half, they completely dominated the game, but this guy thinks that Rangers were the better team throughout the game.
Stop Celtic playing. What gets me is the community saying, well, Celtic were rubbish, they were after the game. Well, Rangers stopped Celtic playing.
So, who was the only team trying to play football then? Celtic.
Another one with Cantwell as well. I mean, that's my fallacy. Cantwell doesn't do running. That's talking about
Cantwell does the day running. He does walking away though.
talking about and then trying to be fancy and getting involved again.
And he also does getting pushed away by his manager.
But Clement won't accept that. He's already told them about this. So I don't know the outcome's going to be with Cantwell and Clement because I think he gave them a warning at the middle of the season. He's starting again. Seems to be for him game. He dropped him the last one. Started him again. He's getting involved again. Stuff we don't need to see. There's families here. There's kids here.
There's families, there's kids here as we sing up to our knees and Fenian blood and pedos and fucking shit like that. Did he just really say there's families and there's kids there? It's fucking pedo, up to your knees and fucking whoa. The guy's absolutely nuts, isn't he?
It's all right, he's trying to be passionate about your team. If you're trying to be passionate about your team, Todd, get him put in. Stop trying to be fancy and play the game.
Stop trying to be fancy and play the game. Or like Greg Taylor says, you sit down there and shut the fuck up.
That's all we ask. I mean, we need to pay £175 to get a ticket to watch it. We basically to get robbed.
You paid £175 for a ticket? You should have just bought it through the club, mate. You shouldn't be buying it off somebody on eBay.
Well, James Forrest's tackle in the second half was worse than the Bloomstrom's at Park Keith. Pardon me, check that. Yeah,
but I mean, it wasn't though, was it? This is the difficulty because you want to. I know it's all about opinions and people see things differently.
Paul's made a mistake there. It was
He supports Rangers. Anyway, let's get to the next caller. We'll do that in just a sec. Now, next up is the one and only Graham, and I think he might be the first one to be part of the disappointed Klaxon crew. That is their captain's battle cry. Disappointed, mate. Disappointed.
Disappointed, mate. But I think what happened on Saturday summed up our whole season. Our best player, one mistake all season, and that. What can you do about that? We've had injuries to. We've went to our third choice striker all year.
Whoa, wait a minute here. Can you remember the headlines at the beginning of the season, right up until almost Christmas, with Celtic in crisis? Celtic injury crisis. Celtic have no players. Celtic crisis this, crisis that, crisis another. Have you forgotten about the end of the beginning of the season, mate? Or are you just kind of like papering over the cracks?
Really. We've got our fourth choice centre half. Got wee Ridvan playing no fit. Dujon Starlin wasn't fit. They had to play. And the way they lost the goal. Scott Wright, mate, what are you doing? I think it's just summed up our full season. We've been unlucky. We've not been great, but we've had a lot of bad luck.
We've not been lucky. We've not been great, but we've had a lot of bad luck. You make your own luck in football. Joe Hart was asked this question. do you think that you're lucky? And he doesn't believe in such a thing called luck. And he went on to say in an interview about a month and a half ago, he says, I don't believe in luck. And even Callum McGregor said it as well. He said, don't believe in luck. It's all hard work. And you get back what you put in. And it's as simple as that.
Yeah, let's analyse the goal. That's what Graham alludes to straight away. Best player this season, Jack Butland. How much better should he have done?
Hey.
The Raskin is spent. He can't keep up with Bernardo.
Sorry,
It's not your fault, Graham.
The Raskin is spent. He can't keep up with Bernardo.
Sorry to interrupt as well. Diamande charges out to McGregor in a 30-yard dash rather than just staying next to Raskin, and it would have made it even tighter and harder.
Raging. Paulo Bernardo. Paulo Bernardo's the one that the commentators were saying, Paulo Bernardo's not that good. Like, he's not that good. He's not an improvement.
There's a catalogue error.
Somebody should come and block Bernardo. And good season though he has had, that's a howler from Jack Butland. Balls moving in the air. That's goalkeepers know that. The good goalkeepers get it out there, and he didn't get it out of there. And shortlisted for Player of the Year, all the Rangers Player of the Year awards. Unfortunately, Jack will be remembered for that mistake at the end, cruel though it is.
Graham, you're pointing to some of the
Some
team
tears.
kind of lost a bit of confidence for that. They then followed Ross County, obviously. It then followed Dundee.
Oh, excuses.
Then the draw at Ibrox, which was kind of celebrated a little bit, but even that was it's more drop points. So Philippe Clement will know what's coming in.
Remember that? Remember when the Celtic, you just said it, they celebrated a 3-3 draw at Ibrox against Celtic. Yes, they celebrated the draw. They won the Moral Cup. They thought they were champions again. Ole, ole. It's hilarious, isn't it?
The summer, and he'll have already been working on it. Obviously, there's already a sign in the building. There's a new contract being signed by a player as well. So the rebuild has started, and that's what it needs to be, which is unfortunate. We're saying these words again like we were last season.
And the season
but
before.
There's going to be a lot of change at Ibrox.
And the season before. And the season before. When were they born again? Oh, right, that's it. Yeah, 2012. They've been coming since 2012, and they're still... God, I wouldn't... It'd actually be... No, I didn't even talk about it.
Those performances, and that was the closest Old Firm game of the season.
Right, there we go.
Celtic, they've drawn once and they need a 95th minute equaliser to draw that once. At the start of next season, he's got 2 rounds of Champions League qualifiers and a trip to Celtic Park at the start of the campaign. He will need an awful lot of players.
Right.
So, it was always going to be a mistake.
No, I really...
The time. It's the most annoying phrase in football. We've seen them given that Ben Davies. We've money. I suspect not, though, given the way many of us feel about it. It is so simple to enter. One end.
Aye, so easy to enter. It's called football.
The Liam Scales one on Sterling because it's outside the box and it would be a free kick. So there's no doubt it's a free kick. And this is where the consistency comes into it. Unfortunately, Nick Walsh never seen it or never seen enough of it to give the free kick. But
excuses.
What's even the... sometimes, because nowadays it's quite unforgiving with the follow.
We need to get some players in that are going to be good enough for the next 2, 3, 4 years. So for me, players like Cantwell, I know Cantwell, a lot of Rangers fans love him. When he first came in, I thought, yeah, he'd be a great signing. But for me, he's so inconsistent. Even in the cup final there, he did a few good things, and then when he gets subbed, he's shaking his head. Why are you shaking your head? You're not good enough. You weren't good enough. That's why you've been subbed. So for him, get him out. Lundstrom, Badges, those boys are going. But we do need some really good players to come in. 3 or 4 good top quality players. I just hope Clement. I have absolute faith in him, but I just hope he gets it right and gets some really good quality players in the.
How many managers have they went through since they came back? Could somebody tell me in the comments? Because I can't keep up, to be honest. I really can't keep up. I'm sure Brendan Rodgers has seen about 5 of their managers come and go. And it's Rebuild FC. And that's what they should be called as. They should be renamed, not the Rangers, it's Rebuild FC. So much for the House of Cards. Do you remember that? Dave King said, we win the league. We win the league. Celtic will fold like a pack of cards. Like a pack of cards, he said. And the masses. People. Yeah, it's absolutely brilliant. All of it. Meltdown Tuesdays. It was Monday night this happened, and it was just another meltdown Monday.
Ibrox, you know.
Well, they need it, Nadine, that's for sure. And they might need more than 4, by the way. But I agree with you. I think it's not even about they need better quality, no doubt. But for me, they need the right types as well.
Anywhere.
The right types. The right types of what? Players. So next up, they actually they spoke about Brendan Rodgers, and they listened to what Brendan Rodgers had to say, and it was quite interesting because you could see Kenny Miller hiding in the background about crying, and you see the tears about coming down his face. This is absolutely magnificent. Magnificent. It's fucking fantastic, isn't it?
Well, so happy. Obviously, to win another title was an amazing feeling, and really tense game, really tight game. But the will of the players and the desire of the players was immense, really. So to get that winning goal was a great feeling.
Oh, short and sweet. What about Philippe Clement?
Short and sweet. You should see Kenny Miller sitting twiddling his pen. He's absolutely in about tears in this. And now let's get. We've heard Clementine suggest that even Celtic, who aren't neutral, thought that Rangers were the better team. Let's listen to what.
Then this was his immediate reaction to the game.
Everybody was saying that we were the better team today. In that way, it's mixed feelings. You're disappointed because you do it.
He stole Tav's tagline. I think do you think they just take turns to say disappointed?
Everything to win, and everybody worked really hard for that last weeks, last months for that. But I'm also proud about what the team has showed today.
Right, come on then. 0141955.
Yay! Absolutely fantastic. Let's see what Michael has to say about the situation.
Start from scratch, changes their philosophy, their way of thinking. That was kind of the main point I wanted to make.
Do you think, Michael, this day last year, we were in the studio on the Monday after Celtic had beaten Inverness to win the Scottish Cup.
Again!
Are Celtic a better team today than they were on the Monday after the last cup final?
Who cares? We've won. Right? Don't try and turn this into a negative connotation towards Celtic, my friend. Celtic are double champions. Celtic won the treble last year. Celtic were unlucky at the beginning of this season due to injuries, and they were put out of the cup due to the injury status of so many first-team players. So let's put it into perspective. So let's not try to turn it into a negative connotation towards Celtic due to the fact that you're a Greeting-faced current bun. Who cares? They said, who cares? Then, as always, they've got to take the narrative back and make sure it is about the Rangers. They have to make sure that the narrative is all about the Rangers on this programme, which kind of tends to be the phone in total. And they talk about the goalkeeper, Jack Butland, and they talk about, was it a spill or did he save it? Well, he saved Paolo Bernardo's shot. So...
Save. He saves it with his hand, but he has to save it in a manner
because he's
already
like
moved
beyond. So why is that? Look, I'm trying to analyse it.
I'm going to channel my inner Roy Keane here.
It was a save, but he had to save it in a manner. He saves Paolo Bernardo's shot. I tell you one thing, it's no easy listening to them, is it? It's and now he's trying to channel his inner Roy Keane. This is going to be interesting.
It's his job.
Oh, come on.
It's his job. It's his job. It's his job. Of course it's his job. He's a goalkeeper. Anyway, losers chat all day long is some of the comments. Let's listen to the one and only Rob and see what he said.
Who is Brendan Rodgers, the fixer, the master of all, and they've still struggled. And it's came down to a kind of fine line. It's came down to a fine line, a very, very fine margin between the teams. And that's my kind of
6 points in the league. They only ever hard one, isn't it? It is really hard. It is.
synopsis of the season.
So as it becomes time to wrap the video up, we're going to listen to Rob. We are going to listen to Rob, just one final Rangers fan, and who's a bit upset. He's a bit upset, thinking that Celtic win on small margins. Now, the fact that there's a stat that you're about to hear, Rob, that you maybe won't like. Wait a minute, have Celtic not had penalties against them and things disallowed? Players injured. It seems to be just that's an awful lot of just take pity on us, please. Ooh, wait a minute. They went ahead for how long? How long did they go ahead for again? Hey! And there you go. 3 years since the Rangers, who have been rebuild after rebuild after rebuild after rebuild after rebuild after rebuild and after manager and manager and manager. And on that note, I think it's time to stop the hilarity. The next video we'll be talking about. And before we finish, let's talk about what Bobby Madden says. I did say we'd talk about that. Bobby Madden did take to social media, and after the game, and as he does this quite regular. He analyzes VAR decisions and he puts it out on social media. He says you can't simply be behind the goalkeeper and push him as they jump for the ball. You can debate it all day long whether you think the goalkeeper should have played the ball, but has only missed it as a matter of centimetres. What you can't debate is the push had an impact on the goalkeeper. That can't be ignored by VAR when they have a clear image. That was in response to a Rangers fan. And anyway, and on that note, we're still smiling. We're going into the summer smiling. We are the happy ones. We're not the people, we're the happy ones. And like the manager said, it's another day where we go out and have some fun.